What's up, guys? Connor Ferguson here for another episode of the Always Race Day Dirt Podcast, joined by my longtime friend making his return to the show in Roman Reigns fashion. Missed a few weeks of work, back again tonight. Damon Helgevald, thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the call and letting me back on the show. They finally got me out of jail to let me on this, apparently.
You always overly thank me whenever I let you on, and you're still the smartest guy we got.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I don't know if you watch us from afar. Me and Glenn's collective IQs bring the whole roster down.
Well, if you're comparing you two, then yeah, that's pretty tough. I don't have to beat that by a lot. I just got to beat single digits.
So eventful night tonight on the dirt. Real quick, we'll let some more people get in here. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to leave them, and we'll get to as many as we can. But thanks again to Chris Weiser and the Weiser Companies, as well as AI Profit Machine. You can visit them at profitmachine.ai. Every business needs AI right now, except many don't know how to use it. Profit Machine AI, you can get yourself access to a group chat with 200 plus experts on the situation. They have different pitch decks, they have call sheets, everything and above what you will need to help your business utilize artificial intelligence in the year 2026. If you're at all on the fence about it, go to their website, profitmachine.ai, fill out the questionnaire they got. It's short, easy. Took me 2.5 minutes. Super, super easy to fill out. Everything works like a Google form, if that's an okay thing to say. I think it is. And you'll get right through. No extra clicks or anything like that. And you can read up on some of the features that they offer that I didn't mention or haven't mentioned in previous weeks. But, I keep forgetting to do this. If you want Always Race Day shirts, shop trackthreads.com. Damon, I got a code for you. Everyone else out there, you didn't hear that. Can't give the code out to everybody. I've already been asked.
You can give it out to a few people.
Ace, if you're listening, I need a top 5. Then maybe I'll give you the code. So Kyle Larson wins the High Limit race tonight. Dominant performance. At one point had a 9.8 second lead. We're going to talk that first. Nick Hoffman pockets another big chunk of money. I was on the phone with our guy that's up at Red Cedar doing some stuff tonight. Don't know how much he got, but obviously him winning Friday night last week at Mansfield, and that purse that jumped up to $100,000 as the race was going on. That is super cool. Big week for him and a breakout year for the Nine. So we're going to talk all about that. Please leave your comments, whatever you think, whatever you know, maybe whatever you don't know. And we'll see collectively between you and the two of us if we can get to the bottom of it. And that's why Damon's here. So, Damon, your thoughts on Larson? I mean, that was he had a six lap final stretch to the end, and still had the 4th best margin victory in series history.
That was quintessential Kyle Larson on the dirt. Right? That was the guy that we're used to seeing dominate these shows, show up and win. We haven't really seen that as much, especially within the last year, I would say. You haven't seen that a whole lot, but man, tonight looked like vintage as you can be for a guy who's only 33. Just a dominating performance from the get-go. You watch even back into the heats. Yes, he didn't qualify very well, but if you've been around us long enough, you know that 57 car doesn't typically qualify the greatest, and then goes out in the heat, takes advantage in the first corner and drives away from that one. And then, gaps it by 10 seconds, had lapped all the way up to 10th and was knocking on the door of the top 5, was on the same straightaway as the second place car. and not because he was in front of him that way. He was chasing the second place car at the time and on the same straightaway. So just a dominant performance. Car was fast, and he was running a line that nobody else was even willing to try. He was getting above the cushion, entering above the cushion, and diamonding off the corners to split top and bottom. Just a really, really good race and a good racetrack, quite frankly, for Larson.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He was enjoying it from his vantage point, which how can you blame the guy, right?
Right.
Real quick, big shout out to Bill Seal, says he's watching right now. Appreciate you letting me use your son. He's a rock star with the camera. Gonna hopefully turn him into a great sprint car reporter someday. That's the goal. Getting enough money to pay everybody and get everybody in here in 20 years that we're all set up. So appreciate you guys out there reaching out, asking, coming up and saying the nice words you guys say in the infield at Knoxville and these other tracks. And big shout out to Ryan Kimna, who was there for us tonight. He's done a couple races for us in the past. Super, super good dude. Can't wait to see what he turned. I'm talking like NBA G League here. We got the NBA game on in the background, but love Ryan. He's both great. Him and Connor are both great people. So I appreciate them so much for taking a big load off me on the amount of work I had to do this week. Sorry for the lack of live updates during the late model race. I had some fire to put out. Nothing bad. But all good. Where were we at? Larson dominated. Rico Abreu is the points leader now.
How many did he go up by? I knew it was close.
I don't know. I just knew he was down 7 coming in, and he definitely got Reitzel by 7. Aaron got back up to 11th.
So he beat him by 4 spots.
Oh, he beat him by 4 spots. Okay.
Because Abreu finished 7th.
I want to say it might be tied.
I was saying I knew it was going to be tight. When they went offline on FS1, it was going to be tight, and it was weird watching Rico. I don't know if you got to see the same thing that I did, just watching how strong he was early and then just fade. Like he drove up through. He got up to second after falling early in the start, got back up to second, and then just faded. And especially in that last 6-lap stint, went from, I believe, 3rd to 7th to finish, and just absolutely faded away. He tried to run the bottom a little bit too long, and it just was not there.
Yeah, and I post our post-race results. So I typed in 7 period Rico Abreu and tagged his Twitter account, or whatever we did tonight. I'd probably change it every other time, basically. And that's probably an ADHD thing. I don't know. I got bad short-term memory loss. So I was operating on he got better than 7th. But nonetheless, neck and neck between those two. Larson's right behind them. They got everybody back up there. And it's a cutthroat series right now. I love the parity that's going on. It'll be the age-old question until David Gravel actually races a high limit season, and then that will be the age-old answer, right? Does this happen behind David Gravel if he's over there? I don't think so, but I think there's a case to also be made that he'd probably be first still. I don't know.
If he's not first, I think he's he's in the mix there with those guys. I think it's hard to say because you're not running the same racetracks at the same time, right?
Especially not to this point in the season.
Yeah.
They've ran so many different ones that
you haven't seen them. So I think it's hard to say at this point whether or not Gravel would be in that boat or not. I would think he would, but at the same time, anybody's vulnerable in every situation possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Rest of the podium, Brent Marks finished 2nd again. He's been doing that. Is that
3rd straight?
It is 3rd straight. Yeah, because that was Monday, not Saturday. I was trying to figure out which race did we go to, Friday or Saturday. That tells you where my brain's at. So good runs for him, especially after splitting with Finn, that situation, to bounce back like this. And we talked to him the other night about digging himself out of a hole and how difficult that can be, because you don't want to look at the standings, but when you have a start like that, you become married to the standings sometimes. And I've seen the best of the drivers. I've seen the worst of the drivers. I've seen guys that someone called middle of the road that definitely could have won a championship in a series, overdrive their car the rest of the year, and just flounder. And that was Michael Lynette. I don't think I was going to tear up, but that was the example I was pointing to there. And it does weigh on you a lot more than it would otherwise. So good to see from Brent Marsh to run second, and then Justin Peck running third, Tyler Courtney fourth, Giovanni Selzy in fifth, Thorson in sixth. Obviously, we touched on him. Gio, quietly consistent. He's moving up the standings too. He's going to be a threat by the end of the season.
Yeah, it's a new team, right? Like, that's a whole new group of guys working together, a whole new team that's going to go through some growing pains. And this is about the time of year where people start figuring out what they truly do have too. We're past the beginning part of the season where you're working through your new kinks and new equipment and whatever else it may be. He's at the point in the season now where it's time to get up and go. And the get up and go time comes when you start putting the pieces together. The summer months is when you really start seeing who's going to be players in the game. And the last couple of shows that I've been able to watch, he's been at the front, if not right there. He's not going to make a big headline, but he's been really close in doing so.
Someone just run a monster burp on the other side of your feed.
Not on. I heard it, but it wasn't from me.
I don't know what that was. I don't got anything.
I hear some clicking now too.
Oh, that Caleb is your microphone. Caleb's listening to the show. That's got to be what it was. Caleb has no idea his microphone's on. His page probably isn't even open. It just keeps him logged into it. That's hilarious. Oh my!
I was gonna say, I thought I heard him on the phone earlier, but I was like,
dude, I was trying to figure out what video on my laptop would have a burp in it.
That's pretty funny. That was big. I almost got caught off guard there.
We're just trying to keep you fresh. It's the Always Race Day guarantee. We'll talk late models a little bit. We'll get you out of here. Let us know what you guys thought of this. We'll do more in the future. I don't want to make promises on what nights they'll be. You'll know going into the week at the very least, but I don't want to run into, I think Braden McMahon said, I thought for sure a 5:45 go-kart race and dinner reservation would get me at home in time for the High Limit A-Main. And he was giving them about how quickly they got their show done. But
if Sunday night and that cup race in Nashville taught us anything, you can never guarantee on the clock.
No, absolutely not. Let alone the week before with all that
right.
stuff. On the late model side, Nick Hoffman gets the win at Eldora tonight. Is that his first? I don't know if he might have one more. I think it's his first. He definitely just said it in the interview too. That's the dumb part of how my brain's working right now. Big props to him. That takes a lot out of guy. I watched Ricky Thornton struggle there for years and years and years, and until you get one, it feels like it's the hardest trophy to get on that side of the sport. I have no doubt this makes Hoffman a bigger contender on Saturday night.
I think so. And, this is one of those points where you get to see who the players are going to potentially be. Same thing when they get going into tomorrow and the rest of this week, right? You start seeing who the players are going to be. And that's the one thing about Eldora is you might hit on it tonight and you might be terrible come Saturday. it's you got to stay on top of that place and however changing it can be. And certainly would expect Hoffman to continue to be up there. That seems like a place that he has been really good at from the get-go, right? You think back to when he jumped in to the late model, he's been really good at Eldora since entering into the late model scene on a full-time basis. And it's good to see, right? Like this guy was a big name, especially around here in the Midwest during the summer series and through the through all of the summer nationals that he won on the modified side. Seeing him now translate that to the big body cars is even better.
Yeah, he was. I was telling Matt Morrow, he's one of the few people in the world I've ever seen win every race of a season they competed in. And Matt did that years and years ago with the dirt truck series that used to run around Iowa. So we were having a good laugh about Matt Morrow, Nick Hoffman, and Jet Lawrence. I said that's the big three right there.
It's a hell of a three.
Second place went down to Devin Moran. Obviously has been very good at Eldora over the years. Dale McDowell, third. He is, every year that he does it, it's like, man, he beat cancer and then he comes back and does this. And then he comes back a year later and does, and I'm sure he's in better shape than he was 5 years ago. I'm not trying to put him down is what I'm trying to say.
No, you're just speaking facts at this point.
With every year, it becomes more spectacular.
Dude, I love Dale McDowell, man. Like that is a guy, like you said, when you think he's down and out, when you think it's time for Mac Daddy to retire, what does he do? He shows back up and still is kicking it with some of these young guys, and not just kicking it, but he is putting his car in good spots at all times. It's awesome to see whenever he's running up front, and just the story that follows him. Like you said, the guy beat cancer and is still racing cars at this time. He doesn't have to do this, but he loves to do it. And that's the cool part. And I really enjoy watching Dale McDowell run on a regular basis still. That's a guy that I've followed from a long time, and just seeing him run at this level still is impressive. Guys drop off, right? As the older they get, there's no doubt about it. Guys drop off. It's pretty darn cool to see him continuing to run at the front.
I hear the phrase, if he wins, they'll burn this place down, all the time. And I'm putting my number one at Connor Daly in the Indy 500. Is Dale McDowell winning a Dream or a World in the rest of his career? Is that number two?
If it's not number two, it's pretty high up there.
And I just want to say, it's only because Indianapolis has us beat by a couple 100,000 people. I have no doubt the Eldora crowd could rival.
Yeah, I would say they'd burn the place to the ground. I think.
Yeah, no, I hope not, just because the Vancouver Canucks found out the hard way, but. And that was a loss to the ground. But
I was going to say that was a different scenario.
But behind McDowell, Brandon Shepard went 21st to 4th. Just had that rocket one car ripping. Chris Ferguson 5th. Obviously, you got to shout out Fergie. Hopefully, I get some extra TV time this week as someone replaces Carson with Connor. And then that's the whole thing. And you get a text. Fun time of year when it happens. We're a 2-year streak now, I think. Pretty sure. Don't quote me on it. Trey Mills gets 6th. We've been waiting for that kid to kind of show himself. Not show him, but he's a young kid racing with a bunch of guys a lot older than him, more experienced. That's a great, tremendous run out of him. Then Max Blair, Tyler Erb, Hudson O'Neill, Jonathan Davenport. And might I say, I didn't think Tyler Erb nailed the Ken Block paint scheme when they did that. They had different elements of different cars they were working with. That Kyle Busch car looks great. Looks awesome.
It looks like it came right off the movie Floor Room from the Exxon 51 that Roddy Burns drove in Days of Thunder, and the same scheme that came off KB's truck. You know, it was pretty darn good.
Yeah, I love seeing it. Tyler Erb and Nick Hoffman winning the $200,000 checks that they put in late last week. Did you see that headline when it came across?
Briefly, but didn't go into it deeply, but briefly.
So the Friday race was supposed to pay $12,000.
Yep.
They announced during the 4-wide salute that the NIST family was donating $88,000 to make the race pay $100,000 to win. I said that I'm not going to hate anybody for putting 88 grand into racing. I don't like that it all went to one driver, and I don't like they did it the night of the race so they couldn't promote the amount of money that they were putting into the purse. Now, the flip side of that is everybody's talking about Friday night at Mansfield. Everybody was talking about it on Friday night when it happened, and then the rest of the night. And it's like, who won? That's the first question everybody's asking afterwards. That intended consequence was beautiful in its own right. Then they came back the next night and did it again. And it was $57,000 to win, and they put more in to make it $100,000, 57. So that was cool that those two guys got it to break up. It's a big week for Hell Tour PR. God, they did that video series about like your driver can turn into the greatest. They get Nick Hoffman and Tyler Erb out of it.
I'm gonna rebuttal on one thing. You know, I think it's kind of cool that they waited till the night of to promote it and post it, right? Because you're not just getting guys that are only chasing certain events or just randomly show up out of nowhere. You're getting guys that want to be at Mansfield and have to for points purposes, but they want to be there at that event. But I think it's kind of cool that you wait till the night of, hey, we're going to pay $100K to the winner, and they don't even know it. Like that's the best part.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your thoughts there too. And like I was thinking over the weekend, I'm like, you know, if they put any amount of extra money in the Knoxville purse, are more people going to show up? So they showed up when it's free. Then you get 6,000 more people.
I would
you can't do that for nationals, obviously.
Yeah. But, I mean, people are going to show up because they want to be there. And I think those are the ones that should be awarded and rewarded.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we covered everything. Are you good?
Yeah, I think I'm good. Excited to see as we go into these summer months where we go and what both sides do, the sprint car side and the late model side. There's lots of big races as always, and certainly good racing all around, not just on a national scene too, right? There's a lot of little tours that are going around or local series that are going around that provide some good racing as well.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I can't wait for it. We'll be with you guys the whole way through. And gosh, I think we're like 70 something days away from Knoxville Nationals. We're going to be counting down every day. That stuff's coming soon. Appreciate y'all for following along, and we'll see you next week. Maybe we'll see you towards the end of this week. We'll see. Let us know what you thought of this, though. Leave your comments in the YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. We'll see all of it, and appreciate you guys for following along. Thanks again, Damon. Appreciate you, buddy.